Hello, family. I hope all is well. And I know it's going to be a great day. Sending you all lots of love. We're going to get right into the video. This is talking about the crime that's going on in Somalia. So we're going to get right on into it. And then I'll put my little 2 cents in from time to time.
Local Democrat leaders, Governor Tim Walz and Congressman Ilhan Omar. ICE says that he was convicted of welfare fraud in Canada and should not have been eligible for temporary status here in the United States. Correspondent Garrett Cheney tells us the backstory here from Chicago. Hi, Garrett.
Yeah, Martha, the immigration judge in that Somaliman's case denied his asylum request specifically because of the significant amount of fraud on his record. That was in 2004, but for some reason, Abdul Tahir Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, even after he had an order of removal. Altogether, DHS says it has arrested more than 12 individuals so far as part of its newly launched Operation Metro Surge in the Twin Cities. Those arrests include 5 other Somalis, 2 of which have also been convicted of fraud.
What's a little bit annoying, Andrew, is they've only arrested 12 people since December 1st.
You see how close-knit their ties are?
Yeah.
And they protect their own. And that's why when I see Ilhan Omar and people like this, they come on TV and they act like they have no idea any of this is happening, these politicians. Not in a million years did Ilhan Omar not know. She needs to be investigated. They need to go after her because this kind of stuff, that's an isolated event, right? Or that's not an isolated event, sorry. That's happening all over Minnesota. That's just one situation, and this needs to be exposed.
And the number now, it went from 1 billion to 8 billion. That's what the reports are saying.
That's correct, yes.
Omar. Yeah, this is Ilhan Omar with Mr. Abdul Tahir Ibrahim, right here, best friends.
Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Tahir Ibrahim. He entered the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, but should have never been eligible. We are going to have more on this in our next episode.
How ridiculous is that? Absolutely ridiculous. To bring him into the country. And this is not just Ilhan Omar that he knows. As you saw there, this guy is quite the figure in the Somali Republic of Minnesota's politics. Look at him with Tim Walz, with Senator Tina Smith, with Steve Simon, your Secretary of State.
At this moment, you gotta wonder if Democrats have donors at all, really, or if they're just filtering all of this fraud money directly from the Somalis into their own bank accounts.
That's exactly what's probably happening. Remember, Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, there was an allegation that, probably not even an allegation because it was leaked tapes, where it was quid pro quo. He wanted their support and he wouldn't prosecute them in return. And support means a lot of things in politics. It's not just, votes, it's financial support. So they're stealing money from federal taxpayers and from Minnesotan taxpayers, and they're giving it to the Democrats who then win
Allegedly.
elections. And this is why Tim Walz and these other Democrats, Ilhan, are all fighting tooth and nail to protect that fraud. And Ilhan Omar is now, ladies and gentlemen, a target. She is now a target herself. Here's that final piece of content from Fox News. They've been all over this. Credit to Fox News. This is the most I've watched them this year, like the last 3 clips we've played.
Well, now investigators are tracking a web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds. Well,
So she is now the target, ladies and gentlemen. She's on the menu, and I want Tom Homan, I want Kristi Noem, I want Pam Bondi, and everyone else in the Trump administration to investigate the fact that she lied on her immigration documents and became a citizen unlawfully, and she should be denaturalized and deported back to Somalia because she clarified America. It's Sweden, it's the UK. Wherever there's a Somalian diaspora, there appears to be massive fraud. Even in the United States, it's not just Minnesota, the Twin Cities, it's Portland, Auburn, and Lewiston, Maine. Recently, a Somali
Allegedly.
politician, like I reported a few days ago, was arrested because he, faked where he was living in his district, and then he stole guns.
So, and dude, I think Somalians, remember Nigerians, they've for a long time, they've been known as the fraudsters. But now they're looking good. They're looking good in comparison. The Nigerians they're shining now, man.
Well,
they're shining.
it's interesting you say that because you would have thought that the huge population of Nigeria that lives in Houston, they steal a lot, but they came and they're engineers, literally, and they're Christians, so they find it easier to assimilate. The Somalians are everything we thought the Nigerians could be, right? The Nigerians in Houston own some of the biggest homes. They're some of the richest now. There's a lot of Nigerian millionaires out there with actual businesses. In Minnesota, they're just
Little Somalia.
Little Somalia, yeah. They're just fraudsters up there. And it's utterly ridiculous, and we're putting up with this. And I think it has to end. I mean, Tim Walz says he's going to be launching an independent investigation into the fraud, which is really him investigating himself. What do you think is going to come of that?
I don't even know, man. I think Tim Walz, he knew this was going on. I think, of course, Ilhan Omar knew this was going on. I do think it just goes to show, when you have a third worlder like Ilhan Omar in her position, she hates the United States. I mean, that's clear. She said that Charlie Kirk's ideas should go into the dustbin of history. She doesn't respect our society. She doesn't respect our system at all.
And this is allegedly, this is his opinion.
And it's obvious she'll do anything to game the system. So I don't think, especially Tim Walz, I don't think he'll be held to account. I think people around him are going to go down, but he's going to be safe. And God forbid, I think maybe Ilhan Omar may be safe. I don't know. She's connected quite a bit. But I think we